You're on your own, okay? I'm not saying you should or should not be doing this yourself, okay? You may or may not have a jig. You may or may not even have a table, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, though, we're going to show you how to get it done.
Hey, what's up, people? I'm Alex.
And I'm Ben.
And this is Crispy Co. And we're going to show you how we install one of our Panhead, Shovelhead, Hardtail kits on a Shovelhead frame.
And also, we like wiener.
Disclaimer, if you are not comfortable enough to hack this up and to use a welder safely, please get a professional to install this. If you really want to go for it, yeah, all that matters is can you weld, can you cut safely, please be safe, don't do something that's going to hurt you. My dad had a tattoo shop and I want to get tattoos. He kind of just like talked me into piercings. This is on your dad's bike.
Just do something like that, I guess. Just kind of eyeball it.
Yeah,
Eyeball it through the weld.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to cut right through the weld as best as possible.
And then cut as perpendicular as possible through that rail.
Correct. And that's what helps at the end when you're doing your shaping and welding. You end up buzzing your weld back there and you never have to shape it. You only have to shape the outside.
Yeah, just kind of
Make sure that they're lining up good.
looks pretty straight to me.
Safety first. If you don't have bad eyes and have to wear glasses, then
Put your fucking safety glasses on.
yeah. Be safe, kids.
Before you start cutting.
It's nice to be able to see things. Important when you're cutting this back section off, make like 90% of the cut with a cut-off wheel. 90%. Leave a little chunk and then cut the rest of it off with this. Reason being is these frames are under tension, and if you cut with that and this thing decides to go bung, it's gonna shatter that blade or it's gonna throw that thing out of your hand. But this, on the other hand, can handle this going bung, and it cuts through really nice.
Safety first.
Safety third.
Now we've got everything mostly cut through. It's time for this guy, and hopefully it doesn't pinch on us. There you have it. Now you can just throw that away.
This guy, and hopefully it doesn't pinch on us.
That's that pinch. That's why you use this and not that.
Yep.
Got two locked up. So this is the sleeve that attaches to your casting here, but obviously this was cut off all square. So you need to get a flapper or a hard grinder, your choice, and you got to shape it out so that that thing slides up nice and snug when you're all done. And that's looking pretty good to me. Maybe a tiny little gap there, but you can fill that with weld material. Should be fine. This is a little now. It's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere.
22.5 plus or minus 0.5. And then we can always check that with. Should probably do this outside. There, you're just going to want to heat between the backbone and the yoke. Burn all that top coat off, get it nice and red. And get your sleeves on there.
Sleeves and slugs.
So we're going to fit up the hardtail, right? And this is an issue that you might run into. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. So we got the one side in, and then this side, the slug doesn't fit up, even though that's where we want to be. So a thing you might have to do, which we're going to do right now, is cut an extra little sliver out of whatever side is wrong. Cut a little sliver out of the seat post yoke and then heat it up and pull it back in so you can get this side to line up again. Because everywhere else, this side lines up. We're lined up pretty well down here. We just need to pull this in to get that slug to line up. All right, that's decent. So next we're gonna do rosette holes. It should be about an inch. So that way you can weld into your slug on this top rail. So just, you know, wherever within this range on the side here, just drill like a 1/4 inch hole so you can plug it back up. You gotta file out your burrs. Let your slug slip in. Oh yeah. Sweet. Alright. So now we'll get loose fit up there. .23 5/16 and 23 5/16. It's about as straight as we're gonna get. Okay.
So you can use another big fella. One of Ben's favorite Pittsburgh style clamps.
Schittsburg. You can buy a lot of things at Harbor Freight, but don't buy clamps. They suck.
Dude, they're pretty bad. They are the worst. Look at that, dude. A little tweak over. Check for square. Actually, just come back a little bit. Dude, perfect. The man wanted a little lift so that little nugget. Dude, look at that fitment.
That's what you want to see right there.
All you need, clamp, some wood.
And now I need some
Sick.
tow rod.
And now the welder needs to get his shit together.
So here's the part that trips people out too, because like this all looks great. It's gonna get filled in. It's gonna look like that casting. But when you slide this thing back to tack it, it looks kind of crazy. But it's how it's supposed to be.
It's how it's supposed to be. You're gonna fill it all in. Just make sure I haven't done anything weird, that my hold is nice.
No, that looks great. That looks beautiful.
Okay, go for it. You gotta pull back the foreskin?
Yep. Just give her a nice big fat tack.
Nice big fat tack. Call that a love tack.
Call that a love.
Some people ask, what's this all about? Why this dog leg? It's a really, really important bend. A lot of other low budget hardtails don't have that. And this is so you have chain clearance. And if you don't have that, who experienced this, Ben?
Yeah, I did that. I had to dog leg it myself.
Because some other frame hardtail manufacturer didn't give the luxury of the dog leg. And what he had to do to make that work was pretty gnarly, but he did it because he's a man. I mean, he's the man.
Yeah.
Jesus! So this is 0.3 up over there. Once again, these things are crazy sensitive. I wouldn't get, this thing ain't going to the moon. This is a chopper, baby.
0.2.
0.2, that is 0.1 degree off. I don't even know if you could fathom how much that
0.1 degree
is
off is
close.
perfect.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
That's what my mom always
0.1
said.
degree. Yeah, just nip these little fuckers off. And then you have a little extra filler material there. Filler material. Sometimes you can't help it, but it is really cool to be able to keep this out of these welds so it just looks like the cast piece again when you're done. It's hard, but it looks cool if you can.
Another important note that when you get our hardtail, you're going to notice that we've only little more than tacked our cross member here, because when we weld them full 360 before you guys get them, it tows in these top bars. So it's super important. Do not finish weld any of this until these rails are welded in, or at least set in, because it keeps them from towing in.
All right, so now we need to come back in and clean up these welds here and just kind of smooth everything out, get a nice harsh line there so that when we go to put these up, they slip all the way back into the casting. So you want to just kind of clean it up, try not to cut too much into it, but you want to get a nice sharp edge so that this will slide all the way in. And if you don't have air, you can use a regular electric Dremel. It works just the same. There we go, that's looking better. So now you got these little guys here that come in the kit. And these are your little gussets. These back here, they might take a little bit of shaping to get them to fit just right, but it's not too bad. You can space it or do whatever you would like. Eyeball is good enough. Now that those are in, we'll weld again. Fire in the hole.
Once everything's all welded in, we can remove this metal cross member. Yes, that was not needing to stay in your frame. Super important when we cut it, try not to cut into your tubing, because then you're just gonna have to add weld and clean that up. Because if you don't clean it up after cutting into it, you're a piece of shit. Just kidding. Because, look at that. We didn't cut into the frame at all, which means shaping those little nuggets out, it's gonna be a breeze, dude. So, another big importance that I like when I'm teaching people about shaping is when to put down an aggressive tool, step down to a less aggressive tool, and then go to least aggressive tool, which also is a file at times, but I'm not gonna do any filing on this. Actually, you know what? I will do some filing on this. So what's really important is if you're gonna try to shape everything out as though nothing ever happened, dude, like really thoroughly go back over all your welds after they're done to make sure if you've had any burn throughs, like those lows and all that stuff, fill all those in, because if you catch them now, you don't have to redo them once you've already started shaping. And when it comes to getting your best opportunity for shaping down here, you're not gonna make your welds look the prettiest, but you definitely wanna layer them up and like get a nice swoop. So I do like a couple passes on a lot of this so that when we're shaping, everything can shape out and have some good transition. And once again, I don't have to go back in and add material because there's not enough there. I'm gonna use an aggressive tool. I'm only gonna touch the spots that were welded. I'm not gonna touch anything else. I'm gonna try to bring it down, bring those welds down so that I can then enter into a lighter weight tool and sand that out so it doesn't take me a month of Sundays to clean this up. But if you're not comfortable with a tool like this, take your time, use something that's not very aggressive. Also, when I'm sanding stuff, I'm trying to stay really, really flat across my part. I'm not sitting there on an edge and going, meh. If you notice, this is like pretty flat. And the flatter you stay, the better chance you're not gonna undercut and put a bunch of weird stuff in there. Once I've gotten this kind of sanded to a point, I'm gonna take out, honestly, a finer file because I don't wanna put a bunch of scratches in there. And this is the only spot that I'm gonna do this. As you see, I stay at an angle because I want as much flat surface as I can. And I don't do this, I do this. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but a really fancy German man taught me how to file. So DA, these are like, this is the money shot, dude. This guy. Dude, forget about it. Forget about it. Dude, that is like nothing has ever happened. Do you remember early on in the video when we specified cut through the weld at the seat post yoke? Reason being is now the weld that we did when those two pipes came together, we don't even have to touch it because that's better than even the stock weld. So there is evidence that we've been back here doing stuff. That's the only evidence we want to show. Okay, next we're gonna do the seat post yoke up here. I'm just gonna do this one side and I'll kind of just finish this one off. I'm only gonna do half of the thing in this here tutorial. Cool, so the way that I shape this out, multiple ways you can do it. One, do a burring bit. If you've got them, these really make quick work of it. If you have to use a Dremel, that's fine too. Or you can use a little belt sander because this has a little bit of a groove. I'm a burr bit guy, so that's what I'm going to start with. Here is a gift that I'm going to give to you right now. So these burr bits are not cheap, but what I do is I bought them off of the Mac tool truck. Got a whole kit of these, and they will replace them free of charge whenever you want. So the second that this guy starts getting a little bit dull, that dude comes by, I hand it to him, I get a brand new one. The cool part about the casting and any of the casting shaping stuff is castings are never perfect. So this is a great place to practice a lot of shaping too, because it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best. Once again, look at the way things flow and lines go, so you add enough material, and that when you shape it out, just get it good enough. And like, this is not by any stretch of the imagination super duper good. I might go just a little bit more with my belt sander to just kind of smooth some stuff out, which once again is kind of redundant because I'm going to go back in, I'm going to ping it all up. This is a needler, okay? This is for usually taking off mill scale from like crazy heavy welds, but it will also create like cast stuff that's really, really bumpy. So once I get this to a place where I like it, I'm gonna finish it off. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just gonna go in and do this. Cool, and like, you can tell that we've been in there because you can see the metal and stuff in different colors, but once you paint this frame, like you for the most part won't even be able to tell that we cut that and shape that out. So after doing this, I don't think I need to show you guys exactly how we shape these out, although these are a little bit more complicated than this one. It's the exact same process. Step down in tooling. Clearly you can find your own shape and how you want things to kind of blend out, or you might not give a shit at all and you don't got to blend any of it. When you're sanding all this stuff, especially down here, do not undercut that metal. Like, try to leave as much of that weld as you can. That's why I said to keep layering those welds so that it comes out good. And we do not shape that last weld because this has a weld there. So we leave that weld there like this was all slipped and done. But we do shape this, but once again, do not take too much of that material away. That is there for strength. And I'll note it, we do not ever shape the bottom. Unless you're doing a show bike and you really want that done, we leave all that weld down there as strength. We only do the top where you can see it. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully that was helpful. And don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms like Instagram and Instagram.
Yeah, please tag us in your builds. We'd like to see what you do with our products. And you can find this hardtail kit at crispychoppers.com.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Whatever the hell that means. Is it cold in here?